Picture this, you're a warrior. You're a gladiator in the arena of life, and you need the fuel to dominate every battlefield. That is where Jocko Fuel steps in. First up, Jocko Go, designed to unlock endless energy and focus, keeping you at peak performance. Then, Jocko Bulk Protein. Build muscle like a champion. It is packed with top-grade protein. Next, Jocko Greens, nature's weapon for vitality and peak performance. And of course, Jocko Hydrate. Hydration done right with electrolytes for the fight. Don't forget, Jocko Joint Warfare. Say goodbye to stiffness and discomfort. And here's the kicker. All products are Jocko tested, scientifically formulated and clean. No banned substances, just pure power. So warriors, level up with Jocko Fuel and unleash the beast within. It is more than just supplements. It's a way of life. Khalil Rountree was cleared. He was innocent. Now, if you go read the fine print, you go, Chael, you got the... Please don't. Please don't read the fine print, and please don't say I don't. They have disparaged his name in a way that he will never get back. Khalil Rountree, he will never get it back. He can tell people until he's blue in the face about the misunderstanding and what the hiccup was, and the fact of the suspension and why it was reduced because he proved his innocence. It'll never work. In fact, he could tell this story exactly the way that it happened. He will lose respect because people think he's lying. That's it. It's a massively big deal when these headlines come out. Now, I want to do my best to cover Khalil, and I have the biggest voice in this space. And I know you hear me brag about that often, but I'm not only audited, I'm publicly audited. My number of you guys who listen to me, it's right there. It's right on the screen. You could bring up anybody else in the space. They can't touch that number. But you know why I tell you that? I tell you that because with the responsibility that comes with that level of influence, if we just did this, which was no matter what the tests say, no matter what, pass or fail, we don't do that anymore. We just ask Chael. I will never be wrong, and I do mean never, 100%. Not only can I, just by looking at a guy with his shirt off, not only can I tell you if he's using or not, I go a step further and tell you what he's using. And sometimes, most times, there's a blend. So I'm going to have to tell you he's using Clem, and he's mixing it with VAR. I'm going to have to tell you that. Do you know how impressive that is? It truly is, but I'm never wrong. And when I looked at Khalil Rountree, I knew he was innocent. They hadn't said the substance, they had said what he was accused of. I knew, and I could even tie that in scientifically. I could tie it in and tell you how I knew. In the world of anabolics, where they go bigger, stronger, faster, in that order. I know Khalil 15 years. You guys have seen him on TV for 7. I've known him for 15. He is not 1 pound heavier today than he was when I met him 15 years ago. I realize that isn't proof. I realize that. But it is evidence and it is fact. And I was hesitant to even make this piece to share in the joy of him being cleared. A lot of guys aren't cleared. And the other side of that is a lot more guys get away with it, right? I understand. I understand that this is the game that we're in, and you sign your name and you enter this rare pool. But it is one of these spots where if you're Khalil, I mean, come on, the man is beautiful, right? Do you know the sacrifice and discipline it takes to look the way he looks? Do you know the hard work? And if you had somebody to come in and say, you didn't do it, they took everything away from you. You didn't work as hard. You aren't as disciplined. You aren't as focused. You weren't as coachable. You weren't as determined. They just took it away from you. You were cheating. It's a big deal. I think that sounds like a big deal to you. I think that you could relate to that. But if you can't, please take it from me. Like, it used to drive these baseball players crazy. The baseball players would get caught cheating, but they would say, they're like, hey, okay, fine, I was cheating, but will you give me this? Okay? The bat wasn't hitting the ball on its own. I was cheating or not. I have a skill. Oh, and by the way, the performance didn't help me to take the bat and hit the ball. It helped me to recover between training so I could train more. And people laugh and they go, I don't get the difference at all, and I don't get the distinction. And the limited distinction, if you care, the baseball player's trying to make is he's trying to tell you what a hard worker he is. He's trying to say, man, I was sore and tired, but I'm sore and tired because I outworked everybody here. Everybody goes 3 hours. They can go home. They don't have to use supplements. I go 5 hours. I outwork everyone here. The other side of it is my body gets worn down, and I found this. And I don't know if you give a guy credit for that or not. I never have. I thought it was weird. I thought it was really weird that baseball players try to say that. But they did. Because it is a real thing. It is a real thing when you take all that away. Or when somebody has this mythical idea that you weren't in their sacrifices and training and being disciplined. You were just shooting something at your ass. So it is a big deal. I knew Khalil was innocent. Oh my goodness, I knew this the whole time. So not only is he innocent, by the way, he had turned himself in. Yeah. That makes him more innocent. Right? Like you've got what the rules say, which none of us know. They say that the average human each week commits 2.5 imprisonable felonies. For federal crime, there's something called mandatory minimum sentencing, which means they find that you did it, the judge can't say, oh, come on, no problem, go home. Don't do it again. They can't do that for federal. And that's specifically what I'm talking about. There's 2.5 felonies committed each week by every American. They just don't know it. They don't know that they're doing it. They don't know what the laws are. Right? Nobody does. Right? There's no lawyer out there that does. Think of the biggest library you've ever been in. Okay, times that by 5. That's the size of a federal law library, and no human knows what's in all of those books. You know why I'm sharing this with you? Because, well, you might say, oh, Khalil had this in his system, and that's against the rules. And what are you talking about, Chael? Well, but we care about intent, don't we, guys? Did he want to cheat? Did he want an advantage? Did he want to take something and not get caught? No. No times 3. Not at all. And that's the point that he self-reported. That's why that is so evident and that's so important. And by the way, these aren't Chael's rules and Chael's decisions. This is the authorities that oversaw this came out and said about Khalil what I'm saying about him right now. Now, whether you knew it or not, or you wanted to or not, or you meant to or not, you're in a very unique pool. And there's no exceptions to it, right? That's why we got to really adhere to this very rare agreement that we have. And therefore, he's going to have 60 days. But there is no such thing as a 60 days. I guess that's what I really want you to hear. The minimum is 2 years. That is the minimum. Like they are making up, and they do have the authority to do this, but they're making up a rule to give to Khalil. But that should demonstrate how low this is a pull. And DHEA, this has bitten more guys in the ass. DHEA, you go right into the store. I have a Walmart here in Westland, so I'll just personalize it and be very literal. At Walmart in Westland, Oregon, when you go to get DHEA, it's not a matter of turning the bottle around and looking at the ingredients. It will say it in big letters. It's advertised. It's where you protein. You've seen that protein. Come check this out. DHEA is the same way. Like this isn't the hidden one. They will advertise it. It's called DHEA. Guy has something in my system called DHA. Where did I get that? You got it from DHEA. Does that make sense to you? Because there's a number of things where guys get popped and you go, wait a minute, I remember taking. They go, what did you take? All I've ever taken is this. Okay, well, turn it around and tell me what's in this. And you start to see the thing that you pop for is an ingredient. It was right there. You just didn't know to look. Or you did know to look, you didn't recognize the name. Or you looked, you didn't know the name. It requires one step further of research, which you could send a text to Novinsky. I mean, that'll clear you, right? You think that's not scientific? It's close. Novinsky's never wrong. I'm just sharing with you. I want other fighters to hear this. But this isn't the case with DHEA. DHEA, they advertise. It's right on the DHEA, huge letters. It's what the supplement is called. I know I'm repeating myself, but you got to understand this. And you want to know why? Because you are going to assume the same as everybody else, and the same as Khalil. If I can buy it in the store, it's allowed. Everybody's going to assume that. When they hear about drugs, when they hear about cheating, when they hear about failed tests, they automatically assume something dark. An image comes behind a gym, and a brown paper bag full of $100 bills goes this way, and another brown paper bag comes this way, and you're looking over your shoulder before you get in the car and drive home. And therefore, anything that's allowed must be allowed. And banned and legal. Banned, illegal. These are totally different terms. Totally different rule sets. This isn't the law. This isn't about police and authorities. You got to hear the totally separate pool where perfectly legal substances are against the rule. And the media will also lead you to believe performance enhancers are banned. No, not all of them. There's a number of straight up performance enhancing drugs that you can take legally. But that's how the rule works. It's on the banned list or it's not. And the other side of that coin is when somebody will take something banned and argue, but it wasn't a performance enhancer. Again, that's done by the media. And you will have leaders in our industry that speak that way, and they speak that way because they don't know what they're speaking about. You could have something that is provably and undeniably not going to enhance you, and it's banned. You can't take it. You'll have things that will for sure give you a benefit that your opponent doesn't know, and likely the person that made the list doesn't know, but it's either on the ban list or it's not. And I only share that with you that when Khalil realized, what do you take? He's the one that went forward. This guy's innocent. Khalil Rountree is completely innocent. Please don't drag his name. You want to drag Khalil? You want to give him a hard time? Go ahead. There'll be plenty of things you could do it for. He gets 90% naked and fights grown men in cages all the time. You got plenty of, you'll be able to tease him. You'll be able to give him a hard time. Just don't do it on that.